Welcome to the Barstool College Football Show. It is our bowl special episode. The regular season is over. Championship weekend is over. We're going to set you up for all the bowl games. But first and foremost, obviously a massive story we have to lead this show off with. Mississippi State head coach, college football legend Mike Leach passed away earlier this week. We cannot start the show without talking about that. And obviously everybody has stories here. Very sad. But Brandon, I'm going to start with you because a lot of people are looking at you right now as the Mississippi State guy, and I know it's a much bigger story than that, but just a crazy, tragic story that's happened, and it's impacting a lot of people.
No, it's awful. Listen, Mississippi State lost a coach, and that's one thing, but the bigger thing is college football lost a legend. It lost one of its most unique and true voices. It lost somebody that not only was a great coach at 3 different stops, but he was one of the most genuine, truthful, honest, humorous, and brilliant guys in the game, and college football got a little worse when Mike Leach passed away.
And Dan, you guys have been talking about it as well on Pardon My Take, just like everybody across the country has, but you really can't put into words how special Mike Leach was, not only just from a coach standpoint with his X's and O's, but also just what he did for the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tragic. Brandon is exactly right. One of the best college football characters and an incredible coach, and it's one of those things that if you watch college football today, you love college football today, Mike Leach's fingerprints are all over it. You're going to see Sonny Dykes coaching in the college football playoff against Michigan. He's a guy who was under Mike Leach. You know, Cliff Kingsbury, Lincoln Riley, Dave Aranda. The list goes on and on of people he touched and his imprint on the game. So, yeah, very, very sad.
And we also always talk about just everything that he said in front of a microphone. You knew his press conferences were going to be gold. You knew anything that he did was going to be funny. And Dave, I mean, obviously, I know you had a relationship with him, but even the fact that he knew about Barstool, loved Barstool, talked about pizza reviews, just kind of shows that he was so different than a lot of other college football coaches today.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of coaches know about us, but it's a tragedy, obviously, and it's just a reminder how fragile life is. It was certainly sudden. A story, one of them that I read, which was outrageous to me, like he interviewed to be the Miami job, and he showed up in a Hawaiian shirt, and that's why they didn't give him the job. They're like, they didn't think he was dressed for it. Imagine Miami with Mike Leach would have been a perfect fit. But yeah, it's anytime something like that happens, it's sudden, and he was well-liked by a lot of people. It's a tragedy, and it does put everything into perspective, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we said this on Unnecessary Roughness, and I know Pardon My Take was talking about it as well. The fact that we're even sad about this was something he would be mad about, because that clip of him talking about how an obituary would not be his problem because he's dead, he doesn't care anyways, that really talks about Mike Leach.
Yeah. Hall of Fame guy.
Hall of Fame guy.
Yeah, fantastic coach, fantastic voice, and like I said, college football suffers a little bit today because he's not in it.
Absolutely.
And Brandon's probably to blame.
Well, okay, all right. We're
I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to
do that.
Brandon signed a contract extension at Barstool, and he's literally had tragedy just follow him around. So,
first of all, my dog died before I signed the contract.
Your other dog got hit by a car after you signed the contract.
And he's fine.
Okay.
It only cost me $3,500 to fix him. My dad was old, and
your father-in-law died, your stepfather.
My father-in-law died too, but
the guy who you rented the house from died.
Really?
Yeah, it's just everything. Yeah. So we're lucky to be alive.
Yeah,
we're lucky to be alive.
It's like Final Destination.
A walking black cloud.
Yeah.
I'm not a black cloud. It's just people around me just happen to be.
Well, no, that would make you the cloud.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of Final Destination, but of course, thoughts and prayers with Mike Leach. Speaking of people that are not walking around, though, we have to talk about Lane Kiffin getting in the mix of if Mintz should be fired or not today. Dan, did you think that he knew that he was talking about Mintz, or did you think?
Oh no, he knows. He knows. Because listen, I mean, Lane Kiffin is a guy's guy, and Mincy probably bothers him.
So my thought process when I first saw it was that because I know that Lane likes to make fun of Brandon because he's Mississippi State, I was like, does Lane Kiffin think that Mintz and Brandon are the same people?
No, I think he knows.
He just wants him fired.
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Yeah, that's a
question.
good question.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Why you wouldn't want a coward representing your program?
Yeah. Like Lane Kiffin's got to know that the minute the going gets tough, Mincy's going to just walk away.
Lane's a football guy.
Get going.
Yeah, Mincy is officially back to the South, but there was a lot of different theories of why Lane Kiffin was getting in the mix today, but at the end of the day, he wanted him fired, I guess. That's what we're deciding on?
Yeah. I think
Again, if you can't build a football program around a coward.
Yeah, facts.
It's
Facts.
so tough. It's so tough. So we're going to talk about all the bowl games. We're going to start with the New Year's Six Bowls. This is presented by High Noon. High Noon is the drink of the year. It's definitely the drink of the season. If you're going to be watching bowl games, which everybody should from your couch, make sure.
You see the do-to-do I got in with Ravel today?
Yes.
Yes.
Because he was talking shit about all the other brands, but wouldn't bring up High Noon.
Well, yeah, he's like, this brand's down 20%. That one's down 20. I'm like, do High Noon now. And he's like, very impressive. I'm like, well, do High Noon. He's like, he tried to like take a shot at me being like, do you own High Noon? It's like, no, do High Noon. And then he did our ad for us. I got him to do the High Noon ad by accident, which is, well, those are malt. You guys are like real vodka, real juice. Thank you, Darren. You fucking moron.
It was perfect. Like, he clearly did not mean to do it, but when he said, well, the rest of them are just like shitty malt liquor.
He did the tagline.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So go get your High Noon, and thank you to Darren Ravel for shouting us out, I guess. We're going to talk about the Rose Bowl first. Penn State at Utah. Of course, and I know the Rose Bowl, Brandon, is not one of your favorite places in the world because the entity of itself was in the way of the college football playoff expansion. That's changed. But we all know that the Rose Bowl every year is one of the best games of the season. Now we've got Penn State. They've only lost to playoff teams in Ohio State and Michigan. Utah coming off of beating USC, winning the Pac-12 championship. Cam Rising have a great game. When you look at this Rose Bowl this year, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, first of all, I want to clarify, I've never had a problem with the Rose Bowl itself. What I had
like you do.
What I had a problem was the Rose Bowl not moving out of the way and giving up a
it's
spot
a special place
for playoff expansion. It shouldn't stand in the way.
It should be where the national championship
It shouldn't stand in the way of progress. I agree with that to a point, but it shouldn't stand in the way of progress.
Okay.
Now, the actual game is usually fantastic, and so many bowl games that we're going to talk about kind of boil down to who wants it more, who needs it more, who's this a bigger deal to. And I'm going to pick Utah here because Utah tasted winning the Rose Bowl last year, and they faced the second coming when Jackson Smith and Jigba just absolutely went off. And Penn State.
Who's that guy?
Penn State.
He opted out, Dave. The guy who opted out.
The running back?
No, the wide receiver who opted out. The Big F refused to admit that he opted out.
Oh, I thought it was I thought I saw the running back talking about opting out.
Well, he did too.
But he didn't opt.
Oh, they both did?
He didn't opt out. He's playing
Opt out
next
you.
year.
Opt out you.
Well, I mean, he's getting foot surgery. He's going to be back
Opt
next
out
season.
you. Opt out you.
So I'm picking.
I didn't even talk about Ohio State yet, but we're
Come back next season.
I'm picking Utah on this one.
So, I mean, Ev, we'll talk about Ohio State in a little bit, but you're saying that neither one of them have opted out.
Well, no. Jackson Smith and Jigba did opt out. And
Well,
Big F.
he's too hurt to
What
come
your other
back,
guy, your
unfortunately.
running back, is probably going to do what Jackson Smith and Jigba did
Yes,
you just go to Ohio State, you play one good game and you opt out. He played one good game against
it's
Notre
just
Dame and he opted
shameful.
out.
It's shameful for a guy that waves the Big Ten flag. Not much of a.
Well, I like Big Ten players playing.
Well,
I like when Big Ten
Well,
players
his foot
play.
snapped in half.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
like what Jackson Smith and
hey.
Jigba did.
Yeah, his leg.
His leg snapped in half.
Yeah.
Big
it's
Ev,
fucked.
I have a question. Since you are closer to opt out you than I am. But when Jackson and Enigma decided he was going to start chirping, oh, you don't want Michigan. Do you think he knew that he was already in the NFL? Like, who are you? You don't even play. You're a pedestrian. You're a civilian.
Well, he's not a civilian. He's a valued member of the football
He's a
program.
civilian.
He's a great
It's
player.
no different than you
I mean,
and me talking
I heard
shit.
Dr. James Andrews, I don't know, ever heard of him, cleared him to play.
Isn't he going through draft prep right now?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh,
so he's
Yeah, he opt out
rehabbing.
you.
He's rehab. He's
I
trying
think I
to.
saw him running the 40 the other day. and he's like,
Yeah.
You didn't see anything. Stop.
No,
being
he could
cute.
play in the NFL right now.
That's probably what
Where's-
the
Playoff
whales do.
push.
Where's Buckeye Brandon now?
No. Don't
Now
get
you're
all
jumping
deep.
ship.
Again, this is about players playing. We want to see the players
For the
play.
safety of the kids, he exhausted all options. He didn't get cleared in time. It's very
Bad
unfortunate.
culture at Ohio State.
Did you see, who was it? The AD of Ohio State, the president of school, was trying to get everyone to pay $10 a man so they can go get recruits. Did you see that? That was pathetic.
That's true.
Yes.
That's not unusual. I mean, every
What do you mean that's not true,
Every
Ed?
AD in
No.
school is leading like fundraising.
Yeah, obviously, we would like to rally. We're rallying money.
No. That's true. You asked the guys, like, if we have this many fans and they each do $10 each, we have this much money, so we don't get you're getting killed in recruiting.
No, just boosters. I mean, we're rallying money together now. It's a different game.
Where's
now.
all the money?
And I also big thing.
Where's it being funneled to, Ev?
With the our new players.
Did you pay your $10?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chechnya. It's that no matter what game we're talking about, we're going to get to Ohio State, Michigan. We're going to talk about the playoffs in a little bit, but of course, naturally on this show, we're talking about Penn State, Utah, and we're going to argue about Ohio State. So Dan, I'm going to bring it back to this Rose Bowl.
I'm going to take the over.
You're going to take the over.
Yep.
52.
And it really, listen, bowl season, it's hard to predict who's playing, what the motivation is. I love watching the Rose Bowl. Best sunset of the year. I'm taking the over.
And Dave, we talked a lot throughout this season about how good the Big Ten is and Penn State being here with only those 2 losses. Do you think that this is a chance for Penn State to show how good they are?
I think Dan's exactly right. One of the all-time difficult things to do, not only in gambling or college football, but just in society and civilization, is figure out who's trying in these bowl games. But I do think this is one that's a clear try game. They're both going to be trying. This both would be a great victory for their school. The Rose Bowl itself has prestige. I think Penn State wins a very competitive, high-scoring game. I'll take Penn State in the over.
Yeah, I think that Sean Clifford having his final game too, and it being in the Rose Bowl, and just all the shit that he's caught a lot of the time in his career at Penn State, this is one of those moments that we're going to see. We saw it happen at Oregon a few years ago. It's like when these quarterbacks have these moments in the Rose Bowl. So I'm also going to take Penn State as well. And I love the Rose Bowl. I think it's beautiful. I know Brandon's the only one that doesn't think it's beautiful, but
it's fine. It's a great bowl game.
No, you don't like it.
It just need to get out of the way of progress. That's all.
You don't like it. Admit you don't like it.
It is beautiful.
Admit you don't like it.
now that they're
I'm
out of
getting
the
my
way,
ass
it's
kicked with a printer. If you're wondering why I'm going in, I have a printer that's built for a kindergarten school kid that maybe prints once a year, and so I have half the rundown. It's very frustrating. I'm sorry to interrupt.
The fact that Dave has a printer is actually kind of shocking.
It's really a loose. That's a very flattering way to call whatever I got going on here.
Let's talk about the Cotton Bowl, Tulane versus USC. Of course, a lot of people talking about how USC going 4-8 last year. It's great they're at a New Year's Six Bowl, but we all know USC expected to be in the playoff. Tulane won 11 games this year, Dan. USC is frustrated they're not in the top 4. Jordan Addison may opt out again. We're recording this early in December, so we don't know what's going to happen by the time January rolls around. But when you look at this game, clearly not where USC wanted to be.
Yeah, USC was on the doorstep of the college football playoff. Tulane is amidst the biggest season they've had pretty much ever. I'm taking Tulane in this. I think their pass defense is the strength of their team. I think USC's defense is still garbage, and it's just a motivation thing. Like Tulane. This is a big dog game for them. Winning this game means something to the program. USC, they're kind of already like into next year. You know what I mean? Like Caleb Williams coming back for his Heisman, sequel. So I'm taking Tulane.
And we don't know if Caleb Williams is going to play. Again, there's a lot of time.
What is the line? It's 1.5.
1.5. 1.5 right now.
Clearly, he's not playing.
Yeah, I mean,
He said he would.
Yeah, he said he would. And
well, 1.5.
Yeah,
it'll keep maybe.
Tulane's good. Tulane is good.
And I do think that the
Tulane is Tulane's
good.
That line.
No, I know, but I'm saying Tulane is good.
But I mean,
yeah. I don't think he said he was going to play. I doubt he plays. Tulane is good.
No chance he's. Well, if he plays, what is the line? 10?
No.
I would think at least a touchdown.
6 or 7?
Yeah.
I would think a touchdown. I think it's obviously we're going to have to just wait and see. I don't personally, and I know that this is probably not a popular opinion. I don't think I would play if I was him unless I was 100%. He just won the Heisman Trophy and obviously is going to come back next year to hopefully repeat that. But this is not where they thought they would be, Brandon. Like this is one of those.
Yeah, but there's no downside to him playing. I mean,
unless he's and I'm saying if he's even a little bit.
What if he dies?
Well, if he dies, that would be a downside.
Well, he probably won't die because he doesn't know Brandon Walker personally.
Yeah.
Touche.
All right, fair enough. Listen, I understand all the points that Dan made, and Tulane is good, but this is year 1 under Lincoln Riley, and the guys that do play for USC are going to be fighting for jobs next year and are going to be fighting for a spot on this team, and this is a really good team, and the offensive talent, even past the frontline offensive talent, is really good. I think they win a shootout.
Dave, what do you think?
It has to be Tulane. I mean, this line is every single normal human is going to take USC. You're going to walk through the casinos in Vegas whenever this is going, and there's going to be fist fights to get to the window to bet on USC. They're going to think they got a miss. They're going to think the board is wrong. Like, that's what I thought when I saw. I'm like, oh, is USC nobody playing? I'm taking Tulane based on the fact this line screams to take USC.
Yeah, as of right now, Jordan Addison hasn't opted out, but it wouldn't be crazy if he did to get ready for the NFL. Again, Caleb Williams being that number one story. I also, we talked about him winning the Heisman. I loved that when he got up there, he was so self-aware. He was like, yeah, I won this, but we're not in the college football playoff, and the three of you sitting down there are. To me, that says just like USC's thought process, yes, it's a great year. I'm going to take Tulane here. I don't think that Caleb Williams is going to play. But just the fact that they did not think they would be here. Most of the country by championship weekend didn't. Ev, what do you think about the Cotton Bowl?
I had Utah.
You did have Utah. That's true. But there was a time where we thought that USC could potentially still be in the playoff even if they lost a close game to Utah. You didn't think that.
I think we all thought that's how it should go, but I don't think we thought it would go that way if it happened.
And I know you had Utah, but I think a lot of people were surprised at how bad that game got, but Caleb Williams did get injured. Ev?
Yeah, I had Utah also, but no, I think it's got to be Tulane. Obviously, everyone's talking about all the question marks about what teams try, what's not. Tulane's clearly a team that's going to be, this is their Super Bowl. The biggest game they'll ever play, maybe they'll ever play in their program's history. Got to be Tulane.
The most Orange Bowl all time. This is an incredible orange game. Tennessee against Clemson. We know that Tennessee is without Hendon Hooker. They're without Cedric Tillman. Jalen Hyatt is now opting out. Clemson lost DJ Uiagalelei to the transfer portal, but at the end of the day, that probably is better for this team.
Minus positive.
Yeah, so Dave, right now, the line early in December is Clemson -6, the total at 64. Do you look at Tennessee more so without all of their key guys, or do you look at Clemson just...
Yeah, this is one of those games that we reference where you really don't know what the hell is going on, and you probably won't till the game starts on desire, motivation. I'm going to take Tennessee, but I'm not overly confident about it.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to take Clemson just because they made the switch. And Cade Klubnik is the quarterback now, and he is playing for something. He's playing for, his job next year. He's playing for the future of the Clemson program. Tennessee with Joe Milton, I don't know. The guy's got a rocket arm, but he throws every single pass 1,000 miles an hour. And the other thing that I'll just throw out there, there's definitely a handicapping that you can do when it comes to these high-powered, run-and-gun, fast offenses when they have a month off. It just doesn't look the same when they get out on the field, and maybe it will by the fourth quarter. But we've seen it time and time again where all these offenses that are precision timing, and it's like everything's got to work perfectly, and it's bang, bang, bang down the field. When they have a month off and they don't practice, they don't have live reps, it doesn't work the same when you get out there and play the game.
Yeah, I'm picking Clemson too for kind of the same reasons that he did. It's the quarterback. And a lot of these bowl games can be jumping off points for next year. Not everyone, but some of them can. And Clemson will, if they win this game going away, and Cade is great. They did it in the SEC.
I don't believe that, by the way. I think that's one of the great rumors, I
think you're saying it the wrong way. You don't think off-season hype can be launched in a bowl game?
I think the bowl game absolutely can be a launching spot. For guys who are staying, that is like a big deal. And it's also, coaches talk about it all the time, it's actually a really big deal to have a bowl game because you then get all the extra practice.
15 extra practices.
Right.
Cade Klubnik, he won.
I don't think that. We're talking about being rusty for a month. I don't think 15 extra practices really makes any difference.
Oh, I think it does. I think for next year,
for the
launching
development of
you're right. I disagree. I think there's no connection to how a team plays here versus how they open the season.
You're disagreeing with every coach in America.
Yeah, every coach in America says that having bowl game practices.
How would they ever say something differently?
No, but having bowl game practices and getting to see guys, especially because you get into a bowl game setting and some guys opt out, so then the next guys have to step up and they get the first team reps and they get all this, so you now can evaluate your roster going into the spring based off of a body of work in December. I think that's important.
This is also a freshman quarterback who now gets to be the starter for a month and go into this game, and if he puts up big numbers, they come out of this game absolutely.
And then he's chasing all the short skirts at the bars, being told he's the starter. He's not hitting the weight room because he's not motivated because he got given the job by Brandon Walker on the basis
who are you
of
talking
December
about right now?
Who's this bowl game.
Who's this creative player you just made? He sounds like an asshole.
Dan said the quarterback.
Cade Klubnik got the job, and he is now going to be their starter next year, and he's going to use this.
Nobody knew who he was.
No,
now he's going to have all the short
Everybody
skirts.
Everybody
Bar at Clemson. He's going to be distracted. Instead of the weight room, he's going to be in sorority girls' bedroom.
Yes,
he's the guy who wants to play in the NFL. So I think that his motivation and his work ethic will be there.
Well, and on top of that, too, all season, whenever Dabo finally made the decision to bench DJ and put Cade in, all the Clemson fans were like, please, thank God, let's keep doing it. And Dabo refused to go away from DJ. He kept saying, no, he's our guy, he's our guy. Now DJ is gone, so there is no option. I agree with Brandon and Dan here. I think that having him, knowing he's the guy, Clemson fans are excited, Dabo's excited. I'm going to take Clemson, and he's pretty good. I mean, I think they were just they're just holding on to DJ. But
but Tennessee's defense stinks too.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer Rattler threw all over him. Yeah. So
and it's another thing for Dabo. Like, he's not been to the college football playoff in a couple years, but getting a 12-win season is something. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a weird spot right now where he's the victim of his own success and the standard has been raised. But similar to last year where Clemson had a super down year, quote unquote, they won 10 games. So they have another year where it's like, oh, they didn't have they won 12 games. So he can kind of point to that and be like, look, you guys, this is what the standard is now. 12 games is something you would have killed for before I showed up. This is what we did.
And Cade now knows that he is the guy unless he has a terrible game and Dabo can go out in the transfer portal. I don't think he would do that, but there is always that option in today's college football. Alabama, Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl, and we talk all the time. We have on this very show, but always, do teams want to be there or not? Kansas State, Big 12 champion, knocks off TCU, and Alabama thought they could potentially still sneak into the college football playoff with 2 losses. This is a classic do they want to be there or not scenario. And the most recent I can think of is the 2019 Texas-Georgia game. Georgia just did not want to be there. They thought they should be in the playoff. They weren't. Texas did. Dan, when you look at Alabama and Kansas State, do you have that same feeling?
I mean, I'm taking Kansas State, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit that Alabama and a lot of the SEC get to do this where they get to be like, oh, well, if we didn't win the bowl game, we weren't trying, we didn't want to be there. It's bullshit. It is bullshit.
But here's the problem with that.
I'm taking Kansas State.
Here's the problem with that. It used to be bullshit. It used to be bullshit when you lost and you would use it as an excuse. But now when a player doesn't want to play, he just doesn't play.
No, but I'm saying as a team, like if Alabama loses this game,
it used to be bullshit.
If Alabama loses this game, everyone will be like, well, they didn't want to try.
Yeah.
And if they win the game, everyone's going to be like, well, we should have let Alabama in.
Bryce Young ain't playing, Will Anderson ain't playing.
They're a complete, it's bullshit.
And this matters tremendously to Kansas State.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And they're going to come out playing, balls on fire. I think Kansas State's going to win this game.
Yep.
Dave?
Hey, I agree. There's a try game versus a team that's probably not trying. I'll take Kansas State.
I'm going to take Kansas State as well for all the same reasons. I also, in the moment, it seemed ridiculous, but looking back now, it was truly ridiculous. Nick Saban sitting up there politicking for his team to get in and using Vegas odds in their favor. I mean,
no, I had no problem with it. Listen, you don't leave. What if that helped .001? You might as well do it. I had no problem.
Might as well do it, but the fact that he said we would be favored over all these teams, ignoring the fact that he lost the 2 teams he was favored over, it was short-sighted, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be different if he was covering every single spread.
Well, no, wait. No, he was saying he would have been favored versus everybody but Georgia.
Right, but
that's what he said. But I mean, he lost 2 games this year where he was favored, so I don't know that.
Oh yeah, no, I understand, but he's saying isn't it you want the best teams, and if you're going according to Vegas, who's generally right, we're one of the 4 best. I don't agree. I have no problem with it.
It just was very funny. But it is, Dan, you're 1,000% right.
I'll talk about funny. The clip that I saw today floating around from when he spanked AJ McCarron. Now that was funny.
I didn't see that.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
You mean verbally spanked or
screaming at him?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
screaming at him on the sidelines, and then he winds up and gives him the biggest spank of all time. It's hilarious. Like AJ McCarron jumped. He got spanked so hard.
I did not picture Nick Saban as a spanker. That is not something that I saw.
Oh, I did.
Shit out of him.
It's very funny.
Google AJ McCarron getting spanked. You'll laugh out loud. It's hilarious.
So we're going to talk about the college football playoff as we're going to. We're going to be talking about it a lot until December 31st on every single show. We did talk about it at Army Navy when we were live last week in Philly. So we have our picks here, but as normal, every day it seems to change a little bit. So we're going to start with the Fiesta Bowl, Michigan, TCU. Ev, I'm going to start with you because, in Philadelphia at Army Navy, obviously we know what everybody's going to say, playing to the crowd, but now it's just us in the studio. What do you really think is going to happen in this game versus these two teams?
I think Michigan's going to win. I think it's going to be close, though. I think it is worth to point out that the line opened at 10, immediately jumped to 7.5. So I do think it's going to be closer than people think. So I'll take the 7.5. I do think over as well. I like the over as well. I think they'll both score some. But I think Michigan wins a close game.
This is why it's so hard to keep picking these games, as you guys have mentioned, because not only do we not know who's going to try, obviously in the playoff they're going to, the lines are going to continue to change, Dan. When you look at Michigan, TCU with that line even shifting since the last time we talked about it, do you think that matters?
Yeah, I mean, I've liked TCU in this game with the points since the line came out. Michigan's going to win this game, but I just think it's going to be a close game. I really do. I think it's going to be TCU has found something in the last month and a half with their defense that is going to make this game play closer than I think maybe some people expect.
Brandon?
Yeah, I just think it's wild that I'm the only one on this side of the fence. I just think the way Michigan wins football games, they come out in the second half and they wear you down and they throttle you and they just destroy you. They take your will. This is all the truth. I mean, this is how they play football. Yeah. And if you looked at Kansas State's game plan with a 5'6" running back the other day, it was just run. And Michigan's going to be able to do that twice as good. Michigan, it might be close at halftime, but I think Michigan wins this game by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Dave, you're laughing because you don't think that he means it?
I tell the truth at all times.
Yeah, no, he stole my line.
What do you mean? I said it the other day. You said it was going to be close.
Yeah. Listen, we take your will, we beat you down, we lean on you. You were just saying what I say. I think the line is a huge shift. Now I like Michigan versus spread. 10, I thought it was too many. We move it down to 7. I like Michigan now. I think Michigan wins the game. Listen, there's 3 teams that deserve to be in this playoff. TCU is certainly one of them. They're a good team. They're a solid team. I'm not looking past them. The boys aren't looking past them. I'll be there. It's the day after the Arizona Bowl. We're going to get this game. I'm not looking at Georgia. I'm looking directly in the eyes to TCU, and we're going to have to beat a good team.
Did you hear what he's doing? He's already planting the seeds of his excuse later. He's already saying Ohio State doesn't deserve to be there. So Ohio State inevitably beats Michigan. It's going to be like, they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve to be there. Never should have been there.
No, I'm not a coward, Buckeye Brandon. If Ohio State beats Michigan in the national championship, the season will be an utter failure for Michigan.
That's not what I said.
So what do you mean I'm looking? I'm not going to say they don't deserve to be there.
You're already planning the excuse that they didn't deserve to be there.
Listen, if Ohio State beats Georgia and then beats Michigan, they would have proven they belong to be there by virtue of those 2 wins.
All right.
We very clearly deserve to be there regardless.
But they're going to get smoked by Georgia. And they don't deserve to be there. I agree.
But we clearly were the number 4. We clearly deserve to be the number 4.
So you're going to get spanked.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You
them not to deserve to be there, you have to tell me somebody who deserved being over. I mean,
well, that's where
USC.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Utah.
No.
Yes.
Come on. No.
Yes.
Kansas State.
Good Lord, no.
They deserve to be there by product because other teams around them fell apart.
I just, as a human, find it disheartening that a team gets rewarded by getting their teeth smashed into their brains in the biggest game of the season at home. That we reward that, fine. That's what we do. We reward it.
Well, that's
fine, but they won the other 11 all by double digits. It's not like they had a great resume outside of that second half against Michigan.
They beat Penn State in a misleading score in a game that was pretty much even.
Our score is misleading.
What Michigan did to Penn State, we beat their brains in just like we did Ohio State. And I don't know how great this Big Ten is, to be honest. You have Michigan, and I hope Ohio State isn't the cowards we think they are and aren't going to embarrass the Big Ten against Georgia. I really hope they don't.
Like you did last year.
Brandon.
Last year, Georgia was in a different league.
I don't want to do this because you're going to accuse me of going after, but you said how are scores misleading? We had this very argument on unnecessary roughness, and if scores aren't misleading, then Michigan did kick the shit out of Ohio State.
That score is misleading, and everybody knows it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Didn't you say that it wasn't
Yeah.
a blowout?
He said
Yeah,
they
he
didn't get
did.
their shit kicked in.
Yeah.
And by the way, the year that Michigan lost like 63-30, it was like a touchdown game going into late third, fourth quarter. So, I mean, Buckeye Brandon will twist it any which way. Buckeye Brandon will twist it any way he can to get the scarlet and gray on his side.
Yeah, we might as
They
well.
can't recruit. They don't even have guys who want to suit up anymore. The cowardly way they do things there.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to just move on to the Peach Bowl, Georgia, Ohio State. I'm going to take Michigan. I like TCU. I really like Max Duggan in this offense, but I think Michigan is just a better team. But let's just go ahead and get into it. So, Dan, I'm going to start with you because you seem like the most neutral of the rest of the guys because you got Buckeye Brandon and Ev. So, Georgia.
I want Ohio State to get to the final, Ev.
Big Ten day?
No,
Well,
you don't.
that would not be good for my $100,000 future that I responsibly placed and net worth wise as a small bet to clarify on Georgia plus 170.
Well, I mean, listen, Dave, I want them to get there. They're not going to get there. They're going to get absolutely obliterated by Georgia. Everyone keeps saying to me, this isn't the same Georgia. This isn't the same Georgia. Yes, it is. And here's the difference. This is the same Georgia. They know when they have to get up for games. Yes, they played Missouri close. Yes, they played Akron close. I think they had another game, Kent State.
Yeah.
Yes, they played Kentucky close. Those games were nothing games to them. They started the season to win a national title. There were 3 games they had to get up for. They got up for Oregon, they kicked the shit out of them. They got up for Tennessee, they kicked the shit out of them. They got up for LSU in the SEC championship game, they kicked the shit out of them. If you don't think Georgia doesn't have that gear, then you haven't been watching all of Georgia's games and you're just cherry picking a couple performances. They will absolutely obliterate Ohio State.
Brandon?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game.
Of course
I think Georgia's most likely.
Get him a Buckeye sticker and stick it on his head.
I think Georgia's most likely going to win the game. I think listen, I can't pick both blowouts, and I think Michigan's going to blow out TCU. I think this is your close game. This is your better. This is your better playoff. I think this is your better playoff. I think you gave Ohio State second life, a second chance, and I'm going to say a word that you love that you accuse me of using all the time. This is a remarkably talented team, and you've given them second life. You've given them second life. I think they give Georgia a run in the
Brandon's handicapping is just going to 24/7 and looking at the stars on the recruits.
I don't think you would do a terrible job handicapping if you did do that. I don't do that.
How many times do talented guys and players have to fail before you're maybe
Guys,
they're
they
not as
failed
talented?
once.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we?
They failed once. They failed in one half this season. They failed in one half.
But spectacularly failed.
They failed in one half.
No,
I
but
would
exactly
argue
failed
that
is so
they
like
played-
it was a
would argue
one-score
that they
game with
played
7
two-
minutes left. Like the
two
way that it's
meaningful
crazy.
games in 2 years, and they got physically mutilated, dominated, emasculated in both these games. Also, hand to God, I think Ohio State would prefer not to be in this game. I'm not getting any sense that they're excited for this. They're rallying the troops. They got guys sitting out left and right, opting out, guys faking ankle injuries, walking down the street. They know they're going to get brutalized on national TV. They know it's up to Michigan to save the Big Ten. They already took their beating and their whooping, and now Ryan Day's got to go do it again, and Ev's going to have to go do this whole song and dance again. We've got to get rid of them. This isn't working. They already did it. Imagine have to apologize to all your fans and say how weak and soft you are and you've got to do it again? That's horrible. I won't have to go through that.
This also is Georgia. Remember how Brandon just gives us the Alabama speech 4 times this year? He's gotten confused because Georgia's Alabama now. That's what they are. They are Alabama. They are peak Alabama now. That's why they don't get up for every game. That's why they have a couple close games here and there. And then when they do play the good teams, they absolutely smash them.
Well, and don't forget Stetson Bennett.
They're going to kill this team.
Yeah, and don't forget.
Kill him.
And
kill him.
Stetson Bennett, I mean, I know there's a bunch of arguments about if he should have been in New York or not, but Stetson Bennett is playing better than he was last year. This defense is better, if not, one of the most elite defenses we've seen in a long time. But Ev, I know you were shaking your head the entire time that Dave was just talking. I know you don't think it's going to be a blowout.
No, Dave doesn't. Dave doesn't have a fucking clue what he's talking about.
It is.
Oh, no.
He's talking about this dudes. Listen, it was a bad second half for sure. We let up some big plays against Michigan. We get a new set of life. This is an entirely new set of life. We talk about the Georgia defense. They're not nearly as good as they were last year. They let up 30 to basically a backup quarterback at LSU. Stroud's a much better throw. We have better receivers. We're going to be able to score on them. That's the biggest. But we're going to be able to score. The defense is going to be a big factor.
Do you think?
But I think I don't think we're going to miss assignments. We have a whole month to prepare. We're not going to miss assignments like we did. We're not going to be.
Listen, like when Georgia and Alabama played, and Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC, and then Georgia came back. Those were games you watched the game. You're like, Georgia's like can go toe to toe with this team. Like you got that feeling. Ohio State, they know they stink.
But like, how can you say that we're winning the game at halftime?
Oh no!
Like it's these no.
You know you stink.
No.
They do. They know they
Crazy,
stink.
man.
Brandon has a migraine.
No, I think Brandon knows I'm right.
You're not right. Listen, if you remember the Georgia-Alabama game last year, I think Alabama took control like in the second quarter, and Georgia could never catch up. And it was like from the start. Mm-hmm. The Ohio State-Michigan game, Michigan finished stronger, but at halftime, Ohio State was winning. Third quarter, it was like nip and tuck. Like that.
With 7 minutes left,
it
was a one-possession game.
Buckeye, how many points did your high-powered, unbelievable offense score in the second? That's end of story.
But when you compare it to the Georgia-Alabama game, Alabama throttled them from the start.
Do you know how hard that is in college football? When you're a high-powered offense at home to only score 3. And by the way, they were getting the ball instantly because we were just running 80 yards up the middle every time.
You were the one that compared them to Georgia, Alabama last year, and that's just not a good comparison.
Yes, it is.
All right, fine, whatever. No, it's not good.
Dan,
And Georgia's going to kill him, so I don't even know why. Like they're going to kill him.
I can have an opinion.
No, you can.
No, you
but,
can't.
But you also think Georgia is the best team in the country too. So you think Georgia's the best team in the country?
So far, 12 games have been the best team in the country.
Brandon, I still respect what you say, but not when it involves the Buckeyes. You've been tainted, you've been corrupted, and you've been dead wrong now for 2 straight years.
Brandon, aren't you also worried that like Georgia is Michigan on steroids? Like they will run it down their throat. Their tight ends are going to be like just physical with them. Their defense is going to suffocate it. Like Michigan is a very good football team. Georgia is what Michigan is, except Georgia has like 10 better players.
And a national championship last year.
We'll see.
We will see. I'm going to take Georgia as well.
It's just makes his love affair with
I don't have a love affair. I speak facts. I speak what I take as facts. I look at the screen. I tell you what I think based on what I see on the screen, and I just don't see. I certainly didn't see Michigan blowing out Ohio State the whole day. You're rewriting history to say Ohio State just showed up that day and cowered down and said, "Oh my God, Michigan's just better than us," and that didn't happen.
Yeah, you know that is what happened.
But it didn't happen.
You know, at the end of the day, I think, we all think Georgia's going to win. I understand if Ohio State, or if Ev doesn't think that, but a Michigan-Ohio State.
I've just never heard, Casey, anybody talk about a football game and say, well, even though they totally dominated the second half and ran away, they didn't dominate because it was close for the first 2 quarters. I've just never heard.
That's just not what I said at all.
No, I do.
Well, what have you said?
I do agree because I said that Ohio State got their shit kicked in. You said that's
Brandon,
not true.
what are you saying if that's not what you're saying?
What you were saying is you're retroactively saying that Michigan just absolutely demolished them from start to finish, and that just didn't happen. They dominated the fourth quarter. They dominated the fourth quarter, and if you
dominated the second half.
If you got a month, if you're Ohio State and your pride is just being thrown in the gutter, and you're cowards and you're trash, boy, that's a talented ass team you're giving new life to. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and if I have a month to be like, you get to race Carl Lewis again, he smoked you. You'll go get him next time.
Except Carl Lewis,
I'm just not that fast.
Carl Lewis would have beat the shit out of you from the start.
Brandon, in football, when you dominate the second half, like, yes, teams sometimes start slow. You hang on emotion coming out in your home crowd. You cannot dominate a game. I don't understand what your issue is. If you score 3 points in the second half and get dominated at home, you got dominated. How do you not see that?
All right, we're not talking
close in the first half.
Ohio State, Michigan is down the road.
That's what's so funny is that we've already we're talking about this rematch, which again would be unbelievable as a national championship. But I think,
by the way, we are going if that happens.
That would make complete sense. It would be one of the most watched things ever. I cannot imagine Ev and Dave for that, but I think most of us agree Georgia's going to beat Ohio State, so we're not going to be there.
Smash them.
Smash them. Okay.
Might be my best bet of the whole bowl season.
So
6.5 is a gift.
But if Ohio State does win,
6.5 is a weird number.
I just don't understand.
Don't you think 6.5?
because there's people
Hold on,
like
Dave.
you. There's
Don't
people like
there's-
you.
No,
This is
there's
why we do this. This is why we do this.
Walker,
No,
it was 28-3 in the second half.
No, here's why. Here's why. If Ohio State and Michigan played on a neutral field tomorrow, Ohio State would be favored.
That's fine.
And that's stupid because that's what people like you were walking around being like talent.
This is in Atlanta, and it's
But
less than a
that's the
touchdown
thing.
against a team we saw lose.
Because everyone thinks Ohio State is like,
Has a second life.
They don't do it.
Everyone's just saying we're going to get smashed.
No, Brandon didn't.
I didn't know because I'm
So that's
smart.
not everyone.
6.5 isn't big. 28-3 in the second half, but we didn't dominate them. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Brandon? We'll see.
We've had it, yeah.
No, I was going to say, we will see. Yeah, this, then again, what's beautiful about this is it's early December and we have, few weeks to talk about this. We'll talk about it at the Arizona Bowl. So speaking of that, let's go to the Game Time game of the week. We love Game Time here at Barstool. Make sure you create an account. When you download the app, redeem code football for $20 off your first order. We have a bowl game. We're very excited about it. It's Ohio versus Wyoming. You two will be on the call. Myself, Brandon, PFT, and potentially some other Barstool content people will be doing a pregame show and a halftime show. But Dave, I will start with you with this because, last year we had it. It was unable to happen because of COVID and all the craziness. Officially, we have our bowl game. What does this mean for the company? And then obviously looking at this game, what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be super fun. I think we got our feet wet, obviously, with the basketball tournament, which was really well done, and I think everybody enjoyed it and had huge numbers. I think this game will be too. So I'm excited to see it. I'm going to stick with the MAC. I'm going to take the Ohio, even though Wyoming's been very socially active. It could change. I could have a game day flip once I get down there, meet the teams, meet the players, get a vibe, but I'm going to start with Ohio for now.
And Dan, we're watching as players either opt out or not. Wyoming had reports today that they're without their starting running back, they're without running back 2, 3, 4. They just have nobody. There's opt-outs, there's injuries, there's dismissals. But at the end of the day, we're a MAC. We love the MACtion, right?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take Ohio. I also, Dave, I have a problem because I kind of like the under.
So right now it's at 42.5. Right now it's
Can't.
Okay. All right.
Can't.
Not allowed to do
Yes.
that.
No,
Yes.
I agree. I knew that was his reaction. I kind of wanted to just say it so that he basically he's like
closed the cookie
Don
jar.
Corleone.
Yeah.
He's like, act like a man. We're not taking unders in this game. I needed that. Yeah.
100%.
Brandon.
So I'm actually going to take Wyoming and the reason is, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the content coming out of Wyoming, but they're basically Barstool West. They did a lowering the bar. The players did a lowering the bar. They did all these other parodies of Barstool shows. I see a lot of football guy sweaters out there. Like, they are completely bought in.
Josh
completely
Allen.
love it. I'm going Wyoming here for that reason.
I mean, just the hype around this game is going to be awesome. But the fact that you have an entire football team just recreating content is great. Dan, you guys have done a lot of cool things in your time at Barstool. Obviously, Dave just mentioned the Invitational. But as college football fans, the way that we all are, to know that we have our own bowl game is wild.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's definitely a pinch yourself moment. I'm very, very excited for it. I gotta hit the books. You got to hit the books.
Yeah,
I gotta hit the books.
Yeah, people don't realize how hard being in the booth for those games are, regardless.
Yeah, it's a long game. I got to hit the books.
Yeah, and Ev, you follow MACtion very, very closely. When you look at Ohio versus Wyoming for the Arizona Bowl, what do you think?
It's tough because obviously Rourke was so great for Ohio. The backup did come in and play well. He didn't play great in that the MAC championship game. I'll go with Ohio. I don't know. Is Rourke definitely done?
I think that
out?
Yeah, I believe he's completely out.
That is troublesome. But I do like the backup's going to get a month, or at least a little bit of time to prepare, almost a month. I'll go with Ohio for now, but it could change.
Yeah,
I also think we will be the best telecast for gamblers ever because, we were in the booth briefly for what the game we're at, which was Toledo, and they're yucking it up and telling stories. And I was spotting flags and things happening way before them. You watch the game very different. They're calling out 40-yard run. I'm like, flag. There's a flag. It's a hold. I saw so I think we'll be a very good broadcast.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Invitational was awesome. I watched it from home. But again, college football season, especially bowl games that, when you put in quotes don't matter to a lot of people, it's the entertainment around it. So the entertainment is going to be top notch. And Brandon, you and I get to do pregame and halftime together.
That's right.
And PFT.
You, me, and PFT.
I mean, what
Big
a
three.
Yeah, big three. That's what they always say. I'm going to take Ohio just because I fell in love with Maction even more this year because we got to go see it. So, but by the time we get there, things will change. But shout out Game Time once again. Let's talk about the Roback Dog of the Week. We are all wearing our Roback as always. We're all wearing blue today at the desk. We're all very cute together. So we know that Roback right now has been outfitting us all year. If you go to roback.com, use code football, you get 20% off your first purchase. So the way we're going to do it this week is we're going to have like a different bowl game that we want to talk about. For whatever reason, we have tons of bowl games. But first, Brandon, I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak about Mike Leach once again, and give your little speech.
Okay, so it is the Roback Dog of the Week. And Mike Leach is what could be everybody's Dog of the Week. I mean, we're all throwing up homages to him and everything. Yes, I killed him.
Got hit by a car.
I understand. That's fine. My Dog of the Week is at Mississippi State. These players are going through hell right now. These coaches are going through hell. They're going to be in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Illinois. And they're going to be coached by a defensive coordinator named Zach Arnett, who's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. And he is a dog. The ReliaQuest is going to be, and I don't know what the spread, we were favored by 1.5. I don't know how this changes. I'm just going to read you
-2 now for Illinois, from what I see.
So Mississippi State now an underdog. Let me tell you the mindset of the guys in this building. This is a text from an assistant coach. Mike Leach blessed me with relationships that will never fail me, an opportunity to work with my mentor, my coach, and my friend. I am grateful for that. But we have one more game to plunder, and we will. It's a Pirate's life for me, and it's a pirate flag. They're ready to play. They want to play, and they're going to win a fucking football game.
And
what?
Where's the game being?
At Raymond James.
Raymond James Stadium in Tampa with a giant pirate ship in the end zone.
Awesome.
This is about Mike Leach. The
They should
underdog.
shoot his ashes out of it.
The
Oh my
dog of the
God.
week.
I mean, that would be fucking cool.
He would love
that
too.
would be awesome.
At least like some.
Oh, he would love it.
Yeah.
You know, like they can like split them up between the family and
Yeah.
friends, and they can do their intimate thing.
That would be
You know,
sick.
Mike Leach wants to be shot out of that.
Yeah,
cannon.
Absolutely. Listen, my Roback Dog of the Week is just Mississippi State as an underdog going down there, and they want to play for this man, and they want to do this.
Yeah, the fact that it was the bowl game even before this tragedy happened was already cool enough. Now, I hope they do like a pirate flag on the helmet or something. They've got to do something custom, right?
Yeah, well,
for
right
Coach
now
Leach?
at Davis Wade Stadium, there's a pirate flag flying half-mast for Mike Leach. So
Beautiful. All right.
They bought into the imagery.
Ev, who is your Roback this week?
So my underdog bowl, I chose I think a game is going to be a ton of points, exciting game. The Military Bowl, it's UCF Duke. Duke is favored by 2. I think it should be points galore. I don't see a lot of opt-outs there. I mean, Leonard for Duke quarterback's been very good. I don't see Plumlee as a guy that's going to opt out or anybody UCF. So I think big points, exciting game, under the radar game, but I think it's the 28th day game, so excited for that one, Military Bowl.
Dan?
I'm going to take the Wisconsin Badgers. They are a favorite. I think it's -2.5 against Oklahoma State, but Luke Fickell is going to be coaching. He's going to be on the sideline. He says he's going to kind of be, it's more like he's not going to really meddle with the offense and defense, but he will be there. Guys are going to be playing hard for him because they want their jobs next year. He's already hit the recruiting trail. He's been firing off. I think we got a couple 4-stars yesterday. Wisconsin's going to build a monster. Luke Fickell's going to start it with the bowl game. He wants to win this bowl game. And when we talk about motivation, you have a guy who's literally sitting there who's going to be your head coach, decide your future. You're going to play hard for him.
Absolutely.
And I think also a new wrinkle in college football, the bowl games should count for transfers, for portals. So Brennan Armstrong out of Virginia is visiting both Oklahoma State and Wisconsin. Winner of this game should get him. That's how we should start playing bowl
Take the
games.
choice away from him. You just-
No.
Yes.
Winner of bowl games should get the high recruited player. Like, why not have the transfer portal mean something where it's like, if you were deciding between 2 teams and they're playing, the winner of that game, like have a list before the game being like, here's what at stake. A 5-star quarterback, a 3-star linebacker, like,
That would be
and just
so
list it all, and then you just play for them.
That's
If
it.
Brennan Armstrong just joined Wisconsin in the celebration afterward, that would be incredible.
Like, I want to be with winners.
Yeah, they just have merch for either side.
It'd be great.
It would be
add
fantastic.
an awesome element to bowl season.
Dave, what's your bowl game of the week?
Well, I'll give a double. I'll go along with Brandon, obviously, with Mike Leach. Never more appropriate. And I think a team that is riding high and will continue to ride high is South Carolina Gamecocks, +2.5. They have 2 huge wins. I think they're feeling good. They're playing Notre Dame. I don't really know how they're underdog based on how they finished the season, so I'll take South Carolina.
My underdog bowl of the week is just because, and Ev, you mentioned it too, it's just like kind of flying under the radar. And I know a lot of people are talking about Washington and a lot of people are talking about Texas, but the Alamo Bowl this year to me is going to be really exciting. Michael Penix should have been in New York. He had one of the best seasons in college football. Quinn Ewers is something we're going to continue to look at. I know Texas was out Bijan Robinson, but I'm really excited to watch that game in San Antonio. So that is my Roback Bowl of the week. Let's go to High Noon Trivia, Brandon. You've got the cranberry in front of you.
I do. I have the cranberry, and you can get the High Noon tailgate pack right now with the pear, the cranberry, a couple other flavors. But the tailgate pack is perfect for watching bowl games, for Christmas parties, whatever. And I got to say this before I ask my question, Dan. If you get this question, this is, I believe, the hardest question I have ever asked.
Okay.
On High Noon Trivia here. So here is your High Noon Trivia question. 3 Mike Leach quarterbacks are in the top 10 all-time in single-season passing yards. 3 quarterbacks
I have one
who played for
easy.
Mike Leach
I have one easy.
are in the top 10 all-time in single-season passing yards.
2.
Graham Harrell's easy.
That is one.
Minshew.
No.
Incorrect.
No, it's the other guy, the other kid. 19. Gordon. I can't remember his first name. Is it Gordon?
You can tell by his face that yes.
I don't know his first name, so I don't get full credit for
Well,
that.
there's 3, though.
I know. I'm thinking of the third. The third is the Texas Tech.
Uh-huh.
Graham Harrell's probably in it twice, but that doesn't count. Like, is he? It
wouldn't
Graham
be like
Harrell?
3 of the top 10 individuals.
Right. But I wouldn't be shocked if Graham
I think
Harrell
he's
was
like
3 and 10.
He's like 4th and 11th.
Okay, so close.
We're going to keep, you want to keep guessing?
No, I like that. He's getting close. This is an impressive get if he gets it. Because
He's got a great brain.
he got the hard part. I'll tell you that.
What?
Anthony Gordon. I think that's the hard part.
It wouldn't be like Kingsbury, would it?
No, Kingsbury's definitely on like the top 30.
Is it Cliff Kingsbury?
No, it's not Cliff
Okay.
Kingsbury. But he's definitely in the top 30.
About 10
Like,
more
he
seconds.
had 1 year.
And then we'll move on.
Well, you know we're never going to move on. If he's got 2 out of 3, he's going to get 3.
And that is your High Noon Trivia
Wow.
question this week. 3
DJ
quarterbacks.
Simons.
How did you do that?
Wow.
Bam.
How did you?
I went through my brain. He had so many
You're better
good
at trivia.
quarterbacks.
You always say, "Oh, I don't care about trivia." This is an outstanding trivia.
He
question.
had so many good quarterbacks. So Harrell, Kingsbury,
Yeah.
Minshew,
Yeah.
Gordon, BJ Simons. He had another one
Luke
though.
Falk.
Yep.
Yes.
That was at Washington State.
Yeah.
But he had another
Sonny
one.
Cumbie.
Did he have another one at Texas Tech?
Sonny Cumbie, right?
Yeah, but there's another one at Texas Tech I'm forgetting.
All right.
Like 06.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
That was very impressive.
I don't know if I have to ask another question or there.
Honestly.
That was just an impressive answer.
I want to look at the
You've
top.
answered the question.
I know. I want to look at the top 50 now because I feel like he had. I bet you he has like.
He has a lot of.
He has like 8
He has
in the
a lot.
top 50.
Yeah, he's a lot of them.
Damn, he was a good coach.
Trivia brain.
Crazy Miami didn't want him. He would have been perfect. Imagine all those fucking.
And he was-
athletes
The
running around
best,
in
the
that
best
offense.
Mike Leach. I know we talked a lot about Mike Leach, but the best story of Mike Leach is 08, I want to say, when he literally pulled a kid off the field who was doing a kicking contest at halftime for tuition, and he made him his kicker for the next 3 years. And he was like, well, he could hit one for tuition in front of a packed house. I'm sure he could hit my extra points. He literally had a training staff person grab him before he could leave, and he was his kicker for 3 years straight.
There are so many stories that sound made up that are true about Mike Leach,
Best.
that being one of them, like fake playbooks, the whole thing. I mean, he's just an absolute legend.
When you met, he's such a brilliant college football mind. But when you met him, like he talked to you like he was a normal guy. He never wanted to talk football. Like he asked me for Dave's number, and he didn't want to talk about Barstool. He didn't want to talk about anything. I think he just wanted. Mike's a big Key West guy. I think he just wanted to talk to him about Miami and shit like that.
Yeah.
No, he used as a it's sad. He used you as a conduit to become friends with me, which
Well, that's not.
was nice.
I was really making it sound a lot better than you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he kind of didn't like you, Brandon.
He liked me a lot. He liked me a lot.
He also
Let's
asked you
not
about
tell
pizza.
lies on a dead man's body.
No, I'm not. My last text with him was the night of the Egg Bowl. I said, "Thank you for beating those assholes, Coach," and he said, "You're welcome."
Oh, nice.
Who is this?
Mike Leach.
No, he's saying that he.
No, he didn't say.
No, he in his head. He probably got 1 million of those, so he's like just auto replied. Anyways,
Well, he did ask you where the best pizza in the country was.
Yeah, that's true. I think he did think I was Dave at one point.
Yeah, that question was 100% geared towards me.
I texted him and I said, when are you going to be in town, Coach? I'm going to be in Starkville in July. And he said, where do you think the best pizza is in the country?
Yeah, that's when he's like, wait a minute, I'm talking to the wrong guy. That's fine.
Fine. At
Why
least
did
he
you have to
answered
make
you.
this? Okay.
It's okay. It's all right. We love Mike
loved you.
Leach.
He loved me.
Yes, he loved you very much.
But he thought you were Dave.
At least he was answering you. He could have left you on red. All right, Big Ev, all year you have been going to different student sections presented by Cheez-It. We love Cheez-It here. And you've officially...
Can I give, sorry to interrupt,
No, you're
I have
fine.
a call at 4. Can I give my mortal lock or my my proper 12 pick?
Yes.
Yes. You
Proper
want...
number
Just because
12. Irish whiskey. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Okay, so-
Proper number
And then we
12.
could-
Irish whiskey. It's time to pour the roar. I love proper number 12 Irish whiskey. I've been drinking it all year. Brandon, you love proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Would you like a shot of it?
Brandon took
sure.
like
I
4
would take
shots
a
at
shot.
Army Navy.
I will take a shot with you.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
You've gotten so good at
shot
it.
of proper number 12. Dave, what's your proper number 12 Irish whiskey pick?
So I like the over in Wake Forest, Missouri, 60.5. I think it's going to be high scoring. That's my pick. I looked down all the games. I also like the dog of the week pick a lot, South Carolina. So those are my 2 picks. And I guess, are we doing another show? What's the show schedule here?
There will be another show before the national championship.
But not before the playoffs.
No.
Or the Arizona Bowl.
No,
Yeah.
this is...
All right, so I'll see you guys in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yes.
All right.
All right.
Also,
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. What?
no, go ahead. I'm just going to continue the show. Yeah. So I'm going to just jump on what he said because I have it written down here as well. I'm taking South Carolina plus 2.5 in the Gator Bowl versus Notre Dame. The way South Carolina finished the season was unbelievable. Notre Dame also without Drew Pine. He's entered the transfer portal. So like when he mentioned that earlier, I was like, this seems like to me, I cannot figure out why Notre Dame would be favored. I love South Carolina. Dan, what is your proper number?
My proper number 12 Irish whiskey pick is going to be Georgia minus 6.5.
Oh.
That's a smash.
Well, you said that with a lot of sauce behind.
There was
That's
some
smashing.
A
little-
lot of sauce behind.
Smash,
Little
smash,
sass
smash,
there?
Really, you're like the
smash,
you're like
smash,
salt bags
smash,
doing all
smash,
this
smash,
shit.
smash.
Little-
Stetson Bennett is going to smash you into a pancake.
Nah, Brandon, it's great. Nah, Dan's such a good gambler. I'm sure it'll definitely.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You're
talking
great too, buddy.
I'm sure
You're great too.
I mean,
13. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. You're great too.
The proper pick.
Fine. You know what? Ohio State plus 6.5. You want to do that? Let's do it. No. That's my pick. Ohio State plus 6.5 is my pick.
I was about to say the leaderboard this year,
Dan,
Dave
so
was the
do.
only one.
Great. Ohio State plus
So-
6.5 is my pick.
He's
Put it
so
on the
due.
board.
You did that to yourself.
You did that
No,
to
no,
yourself.
he's
You're an
due. He's
idiot.
due.
No, you're an
He's done
idiot. Ohio State plus
Nah, he's not
6.5.
hit one.
Now
not
he's
it.
due. Okay, Ev, what's yours?
Casey, you actually brought it up before. I love the over in the Alamo Bowl. Washington, Texas, it's 68. Penix, I think we get a quarterback duel here, a lot of points, over 68 Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, that game is exciting. I know it's like a game not a lot of people are talking about outside of Washington and Texas, but I think it's going to be great. Brandon, what's your proper pick?
I'm going back to a game we already talked about. I just absolutely adore Clemson -6 against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is flat out bad. And if their offense has the opt-outs they're having with Jalen Hyatt and now your quarterback's already out, it's just like if they can't score 40, they can't keep up with a quarterback who's playing for that fan base.
Yep.
Like this quarterback is playing for the hearts of that fan base. If they see 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns out of Cade, look out. Clemson's going just like this in the offseason. I love Clemson -6 against Tennessee.
Yeah, he's gone now, but I mean, we all agree that
His
it's
point there was ridiculous. It was ludicrous.
Yeah, it means a lot to Cade and Clemson. Let's talk about Big Ev's section of the year presented by Cheez-It. Ev, we've gone on the road. We had a lot of great live shows, and then you would go into the stadium and sit with the students, and you have officially named a winner.
Yes, congratulations to LSU Tigers, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, being the cheesiest fan section of the year. Also, Cheez-It sponsoring a bowl game, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, and that LSU is coincidentally playing in. It's LSU Purdue,
Amazing.
Monday, January 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Campbell World Stadium, Orlando, Florida. If you're in the area, go check it out. Sounds like an unreal bowl game. A lot of talent come back on both teams. Very exciting. Shout out Cheez-It. Great year.
First of all, shout out Cheez-It for
Shout out
sponsoring the
Cheez-It.
Citrus Bowl.
Shout out
the Cheez-It
Cheez-It.
Citrus Bowl, that's awesome. But that means we don't have a Cheez-It Bowl. And that thing was awesome.
It's on my top 10.
Does that mean that the account is gone too? The social, because it wasn't Cheez-It, the Cheez-It Bowl social media account was great.
Get some cheese.
I think you were
Yeah.
thinking about the Belk Bowl.
Well, the Belk Bowl was too, but Cheez-It also had a very, I mean, the Belk Bowl was the top notch.
Are we doing
but
some Cheez-It snack wrap?
I love Cheez-It.
Why not?
When we get on the plane to go to the different shows and they have the little tiny packs and you're just like, I'm only going to eat half of this. No, you're going to eat the whole thing. Yeah, give me some Cheez-It. We can all eat Cheez-It.
Fox went that way.
Because he's ladies first, Brandon. He's a gentleman.
Well, he grabbed a big hunkin' pile himself. He's going to have two because I'll crunch too much.
Yeah, I'm going to crunch too much too.
I just had one, so I didn't crunch. People hate when you eat into the microphone. Very quietly.
This is the best part of the show.
It's the quietest we've ever been on this set. Let's talk about our top 10. So all year we had a communal top 10. We obviously know who the top 10 teams are. When we've gone on the road for live shows, we've done custom ones. Because this is our bowl game special episode of the Barstool College Football Show, we're going to talk about our top 10 bowl games that we have seen. I know I did the ones I've seen in my lifetime. Obviously, you could go any which way. We love Hooters. Hooters was the first ever sponsor of Barstool. If you are watching this and you don't have something to do for the rest of the day, go to Hooters. Go to hooters.com/football to learn more. They've got the specials, the cold beer, the hot girls, the whole thing. Dan, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I just want to say, you know, the behind the scenes people have done a great job this year. It's been a great show, great season. Specifically Lauren, who came on this year. But with that said, fuck you, Lauren. Fuck you.
Oh.
Fuck you, fuck you.
Damn.
She basically was like, hey, Dan, how about a homework assignment where you just look up all your worst beats in around holiday time? Where, like, think about all your memories when you're around your family and supposed to be enjoying it, and then just think about all the money you lost. So fuck you, Lauren. That's exactly what you did.
Respectfully.
You know you did that.
Respectfully.
And so I mixed in a couple just classic games, but it's mostly just bad beats. Starting number one with Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma versus Boise State. I remember so vividly being like, Oklahoma -7 versus Boise State. That's the easiest bet of my life. That is obviously the famous, overtime game, and they won with the Statue of Liberty. Rose Bowl, USC, Texas, one of the best games of all time. Fiesta Bowl, that one, Ohio State versus Miami. Special shout out, Willis McGahee's knee, one of the most horrific injuries you've ever seen in your life.
Disgusting.
2014 Bahama Bowl, that one was sucked really bad. That was the game that I think I had Western Kentucky, and they were -3.5. I don't know where I put my card. They were -3.5. They were up 49-14. They were up 49-14. They ended up winning 49-48. So that was crazy. Cheez-It Bowl 2018, one of the worst games I've ever watched in my entire life, and it was so much fun. There was 9 interceptions. I think the teams combined were like 8 for 40 on third down. I think TCU put in a quarterback who they're like, he can't feel his leg. It was just one of the funniest moments. Like, I think the final score was like 13-7 or something. It was just a debacle. Pinstripe Bowl, Wisconsin, shout out. You know, Pinstripe Bowl champs. Not a lot of teams can say that. Boca Raton, Wet the Beak, Ponzi Scheme Awareness Bowl. We sponsored a bowl in 2016. That was a good memory. 2012 Rose Bowl was a bad memory, but I was at that game. Belk Bowl, one of the worst beats of all time. Duke was +7.5. It was a tie. They were up all game. There was tie game with 44 seconds left. Cincinnati ended up winning by 14. Do the math on that. And then the national championship, Georgia, Alabama, overtime, Tua.
You just basically encapsulated every gambler's feeling.
Yeah, no,
during
Lauren
bowl season.
is that was mean. What she did was mean. And she kept on, she came over to my desk. She's like, I need that list. I need that list. I was like, this is like Lauren, you owe me therapy. Like, I need a therapist now. So you need to pay for my therapy.
Yeah, because it is like bowl season. Obviously, if you're a college football fan, you're just happy to have.
All my memories with my family is just based around what bet I lost that day.
Lauren just said in my ear that you can just go to BetterHelp and get your BetterHelp therapy.
I'll take her up on that. She's going to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, bowl season is always exciting as a fan, but if you're a gambler, it's hard. You've got games every single day. Holiday season. Brandon, what is your top 10 bowl games of all time?
Well, I went a different tack than Dan did. I got a couple of the same bowls, but I actually have the same number one. I thought it'd be the only one that didn't have the Rose Bowl, but I have Boise State, Oklahoma. I can never forget the way I felt watching Boise State, Oklahoma. As you watch that it just kept being a crazier play than the last play. It's one of the most amazing games I've ever seen. I was newlywed. I was sitting with my wife, and we were standing by the end of it.
Adrian Peterson -7 is free money.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable. And then he scored on the first play of overtime, right? And you thought, okay, well, maybe I'll push here, but it just kept going, just kept getting incredible and incredible and incredible. And the Statue of Liberty is the play we remember, but remember the hook and ladder?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
at the end of regulation.
The halfback pass on 4th down, like everything they had to do.
It was a rival of Boise State.
I have the 2006 Rose Bowl, which might be the greatest college football game of all time. I got number 3, which is a snow bowl. Our two teams.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody outside of our teams ever remembers this, but Mississippi State won 43-41 in the Independence Bowl where a blizzard hit.
Yes.
In Louisiana.
And then that made A&M Mississippi State wear the all-white jerseys,
yeah.
So then they got to wear all blacks, yes.
I got a bunch of national championship games like Miami, Nebraska, 31-30 in 1984. I have Mississippi State, Michigan in number 7. It was 2010 Gator Bowl. Mississippi State won 52-14. There you go. I got all those. And I also had the Bahamas Bowl. Watching that was absolutely
insane.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right, Ev?
Yeah, a lot of similar ones. The first one I realized I put 05 Rose Bowl. I meant 06 was the 05 season.
Oh, wow.
But the 05 Rose Bowl
I meant the Texas.
Wow, Big Ev. Your list stinks now.
No.
You put the 05 Rose Bowl. Who even played that?
That was still a great
That
bowl.
was, that was actually very good.
Still a great bowl.
That's actually on my list.
Title?
No, Michigan lost though.
That was, Texas, Michigan.
I did 2 Fiesta Bowls.
How do you not have Vince Young versus USC on this list?
Unbelievable.
Come on, man. I'm getting beat up on this show. I'm getting beat up by everybody.
Big Ev loves the Fiesta Bowl.
Honestly,
Number 5, good call. FSU versus
Oh, that was a good one.
honestly made me realize how many good national champions, the Clemson, the Alabama, the Watson, the Renfro, like 3 seconds left. A lot of great championship games.
I was at number 8.
And Alabama, Georgia was unreal. The Saquon versus Darnold
Fantastic.
Rose Bowl was fantastic.
Yeah,
I tried to put only ones that I remembered watching, but I had the Bahamas Bowl in there as well. Not to bring it back, the Andy Dalton TCU versus Monty Ball Wisconsin was a great.
Yeah, no, that wasn't Monty Ball. That was John Clay. They should have run John Clay.
Was it John?
If
I
Brett
thought Monty Ball
Bielema had
that
run
team.
John Clay, Wisconsin wins that game going away. They didn't do it till the end of the game, and I was sitting probably 20 rows up right on the end zone line of the 2-point conversion, and just so fucking stupid. That game Wisconsin should have won. They're like, hey, we got this big fucking running back who can run all over TCU.
Was Monty Ball the year after?
Yeah.
He was the lead guy?
Yeah.
All right,
John
let's.
Clay, man.
John Clay.
John Clay.
I made a bet with some friends that John Clay was going to be invited to New York.
After that, I thought Dalton was going to be like the truth.
Yeah.
Let's unveil mine. A lot of the same ones. I have the 2006 Rose Bowl as number 1 just because, and I have the 2007 Fiesta Bowl as second because obviously Boise State, Oklahoma was great. But to me, the Vince Young play, the scene afterwards is probably the most iconic thing in college football. All of these games I have watched, so I understand there was one before I was born. The 2018 Rose Bowl. Ev, I also have the last year's Rose Bowl, Utah, Ohio State. And I know that might be a little bit of recency bias. I saw that was there. I have the 1995 Alamo Bowl. It's the first bowl game I ever remember watching with my dad. I think very, very small amounts of memory because I was so young. But what? Why are you laughing?
I was 16 years old in 1995.
I mean, Ev, were you born in 95?
I was born in 94.
Yeah, you're old
I mean,
as
yes,
fuck.
that'll make you.
You were
Okay.
also around.
Yeah, we're all getting.
I was 10.
Yeah, I was 6.
I was 11.
See, we're all close. We're all close. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the same answers. And the 2000 Orange Bowl, Brandon, I saw you had that as well. The Michigan-Alabama game. You had that, right?
A delightful ending. Alabama, I think it went to overtime, and Alabama scored to tie it and missed the extra point.
Yeah, that was
Great.
fantastic. A great 1999 season for Michigan. So Dave is not here, but I assume his list was great as well. So shout out
I'd like to
Hooters.
see his list.
Do we have it?
Do we have it?
Yeah, I'm sure we have it. Yeah.
There it is.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, a snowball? He put snowball as
The
number
snowball was
1?
incredible.
That he had to have had like a lot of money on that game.
Probably.
There's no way he would have known the snowball.
That was a remarkable game.
It was fantastic.
Do you remember it at all?
I don't.
It was 2000. It was the first game played in this millennium, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game, but there is no way that Dave Portnoy would have A&M Mississippi State as a number 1
probably bet on
game
it.
if
No,
unless he had a ton of money.
bet on it.
Definitely.
These are all-
Is there
I
any?
mean, like the 2015 Alamo Bowl, like you bet on that.
Definitely.
The 2017 Belk Bowl, that's not even the Belk Bowl that everyone remembers. That's just
The 99 Orange Bowl, he means the 2000 Orange Bowl, right?
probably,
Probably.
Yeah.
It gets confusing.
It
Yeah,
does.
he has the 2000. He did the same thing as that 2005 Rose Bowl.
It gets confusing with years.
Yes,
I
but
do remember that Holiday Bowl. I love the Holiday
the Music City Bowl in 2014, Notre Dame LSU was really good too.
Yep.
I'm sure he has the exact same feeling that you did making this. It's just a gambler's nightmare.
No, it's all bad beats and just a trail of tears.
It's okay.
Thank you so much, Lauren.
Hopefully this season will be better for you.
No,
Dan.
it's not. Come on. There's going to be a moment where I'm going to be with my whole family and it's going to be like, oh, we should all be embracing this. Let's go for a walk or something. And I'll be like, no, fucking Michigan State is on the goal line against fucking Arizona State. I got to watch this.
But you are a father of 2, so you have to put on a smile regardless, right? Or are they too young?
No.
They're too young. They don't.
We do Daddy needs a break. We that's established in my house. When something bad goes wrong, Daddy needs a break. He gets a 5-minute break.
And bowl season, there's probably was.
No, I get 5. I said I need a break, and it's respected in my house. I need a break, and I bounce back, but I do need a break sometimes.
So that was our bowl episode. So we will be in Arizona, like we mentioned. It will be Friday, December the 30th. You can click on the QR code to get tickets. And is it just you and Dave in the booth?
Jake.
Jake's fantastic. He'll be in there. We'll have pregame. We'll have halftime. Lots of things around that. So the Barstool Arizona Bowl between the Mountain West and the MAC. And then we will see, which was a thing we've said all year. We'll see what happens before the national championship. If it is Ohio State, Michigan, this show will be there. But either way, we will have a national championship preview episode. And I would just say, if it is Ohio State, Michigan, we might have to have Dave in person and then have our security guys between the two of them. Because I can't even imagine how that's going to go. So happy bowl season, happy holidays. We will see you after the new year, or we'll see you at the Arizona Bowl. Have a great one.
One thing to remember when you're gambling on the Barstool Sportsbook app, make sure that you gamble responsibly. Know your odds, know your chances of losing.
Gamble responsibly. Nobody wants to end up in a trash can.
You can play with Penn National, which is a licensed and regulated operator. Big words. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.